We do not have body-worn camera video of the actual shooting incident, presumably because it happened so quickly and unexpectedly, but a number of officers activated their cameras post-discharge. What we can say at this point is that at approximately 4:14 this morning, officers assigned to a mobile field force detail in the confines of the 7-7 precinct were parked in an unmarked police vehicle on the west side of Nostrand Avenue in St. John's Place when an individual approached their car. That same individual was captured on CCTV video 5 minutes prior and 1 block north with a firearm in his hand. Given the lack of body-worn camera in this incident, the circumstances of the approach are still unclear, but we can say that officers exited their vehicle and attempted to engage the armed individual. There is also ballistic damage to the department vehicle that the officers were sitting in, including bullet holes in the front and rear windshields and the passenger side of the car. 3 officers discharged their weapons. The subject was not struck. After a foot pursuit, the subject was apprehended a few blocks away from the incident location at Rogers Avenue and Union Street. During the apprehension, the subject resisted arrest and refused to be handcuffed. A taser was deployed and the subject was taken into custody. A SAR 9mm firearm was recovered. During the gunfire, one detective was struck in the back of his ballistic vest. X-rays show a contusion to the detective's back near where the bullet struck his vest. A second officer suffered a contusion to the face and the shoulder. The officers involved in this incident were there as part of our 4th of July violence reduction plan to address ongoing crew violence in the area. The officers had been reassigned there shortly before midnight from a Sale 250 detail in Lower Manhattan earlier in the day. The injured officers were immediately transported to Kings County Hospital. The officer who was shot is Detective Robert Carroll of the Sex Offender Monitoring Unit. I have visited with Detective Carroll, and I am grateful to report that he is expected to make a full recovery. His ballistic vest performed exactly as it was designed, and today that vest saved his life. I want to thank the doctors and nurses and staff at Kings County Hospital for the excellent care that they are providing. The individual in custody is an 18-year-old male. We are not releasing his name at this time. Investigators are currently conducting an extensive camera canvass. Because many businesses were closed overnight, we expect to recover additional video in the coming hours. What happened this morning is another reminder that police officers never know what they will encounter when they begin a tour. Even what appears to be a routine patrol assignment can turn life-threatening in just an instant. I would be remiss not to mention the weight of today's date, July 5th. 9 years ago to the day, Detective Miasota's Familia was assassinated while sitting in a command post vehicle on an overnight tour. She was murdered without warning for one reason, and that was because she wore an NYPD uniform. Before I close, I also want to provide a brief update on a separate shooting that occurred last night in Coney Island. At approximately 10:35 p.m., officers from the 60th Precinct responded to a 911 call for a person shot near Surf Avenue and West 30th Street. When officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds in the front courtyard of 2930 West 30th Street. In total, 8 people were shot, 4 adults and 4 children, ages 6, 7, 12, and 14. The preliminary investigation indicates that a family barbecue was taking place in the courtyard when an unknown male, dressed in all black and wearing a black ski mask, approached the fence line along Surf Avenue and fired multiple rounds into the courtyard. The individual then fled on foot southbound on West 30th Street toward Surf Avenue. There is no indication at this time that there was any argument or altercation at the barbecue before the shooting occurred. Earlier this week, we had a confirmed gang-related homicide that occurred on the same block. We are looking into whether there is a nexus between the two incidents. A Tech 9 style firearm equipped with an extended magazine was recovered on that scene, along with 10 discharged shell casings. 7 of the victims are currently listed as not likely to die. One victim, a 21-year-old woman, was shot in the chest and is listed in critical condition. This remains, of course, an active investigation, and detectives are working to identify and apprehend the person responsible. I will now turn things over to Mayor Mamdani.
Good morning, everyone. As you've heard earlier today, an NYPD officer was struck by gunfire. I'm relieved that the officer, Detective Robert Carroll, was wearing a bulletproof vest and was not seriously injured as a result of it. Detective Carroll serves as part of a unit and is a husband and father of 3 children. The individual with a gun was tased, disarmed, and has been taken into custody. I want to take this moment to express my gratitude that this incident did not hold more grave consequences, and to Detective Carroll and to every officer who has been safeguarding our city over what has been a busy holiday weekend. Detective Carroll and so many others had been working 12-hour shifts since yesterday afternoon, protecting New Yorkers on the 4th of July as we held complex events like Sail 250 alongside our typical annual celebrations. I am thankful for the NYPD's devotion to our city and the sacrifices so many officers make on a regular basis. It is also not lost on me today that, as the Commissioner said, we are marking 9 years since Detective Familia was targeted and murdered in a similar fashion. I know there are countless NYPD officers and New Yorkers mourning Detective Familia today, for whom this morning's news is a reminder of the risks that NYPD officers assume each and every day, and how we must still work to lift the scourge of violence from our city. I also want to take a moment to speak on the other violence that we saw this weekend. Last night in Brooklyn, 8 people were shot at a family barbecue, including 4 children. All 4 children are expected to survive. Heartbreakingly, one adult who was shot last night remains in critical condition. There is no place for this kind of violence in our city. We will not tolerate it, and we will fight it with every single tool at our disposal. As we mourn alongside those whose loved ones have been hurt, let us also recommit ourselves to the work of building a city where every celebration is safe and every holiday is joyful. I also want to echo the words of appreciation for the doctors, the nurses, the staff at Kings County Hospital for the care that they have provided to Detective not only today, but the care they've also provided to officers on the other occasions that we have been here for similar reasons. Thank you so much, and I will now pass it over to the President of the Detectives Endowment Association, Scott Monroe.
Thank you. This has to stop. 3 weeks ago, we had a detective shot in the same hospital. We were in the same hospital. This has to stop. Our members are out there day and night, hours and hours, protecting the people of the city of New York, doing a job that they
So you've been listening to Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch and Mayor Mamdani giving us an update on really our 2 top stories this morning.
Right.
Violence in Brooklyn, Crown Heights, as well as in Coney Island. And the Crown Heights developments and details that we just learned, most of them new to us because information was coming in, sort of trickling in this morning. Individual approached the police cruiser with a firearm. The officers exited the vehicle, attempted to engage. 3 officers discharged their weapons. The suspect was not struck, resisted arrest, was eventually tased and apprehended. Firearm was recovered. The detective, thankfully, was wearing a bulletproof vest, yes, and was Detective Robert Carroll. Just a contusion. He's going to be okay. And both the mayor and police commissioner expressed their gratitude to Detective Carroll, who had worked a long shift, had been at Sail 250 before making a trip to Brooklyn.
Correct. And as Mayor Mamdani and Commissioner Tisch said, they were working 12-hour shifts. busy patrol night due to the 4th of July holiday. Detective Robert Carroll, a father of 3 and a husband. That ballistic vest is what prevented any further injuries, and he is recovering at Kings County Hospital. Now to the shooting in Coney Island. 8 people shot there, 4 adults, 4 children. This seems to have been some sort of family barbecue celebrating the holiday when the commissioner and Mayor Mamdani says someone walked up to that barbecue, fired a gun, and made his way off. They are still looking for that suspect.
Yeah, no indication that there was an argument at this barbecue leading up to this. But just quickly back to Crown Heights, 18-year-old male, according to the police commissioner, is in custody. They are not releasing his name or information at this hour. So there you have it. We just had that briefing and plenty of information coming into us just now. We will, of course, though, have continuing coverage of both of these breaking news stories throughout the morning. You can look for updates on air and online as well at cbsnewyork.com.